Two American astronauts who've been stuck in space since last year are finally back on planet Earth. The SpaceX capsule carrying Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, along with fellow NASA astronaut Nick Hague and Russian cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov, splashed down safely off the Florida coast moments ago.
And undocking confirmed.
Williams and Wilmore's journey back to Earth, which they waited 286 days to make, began early today when they successfully undocked from the International Space Station. Their mission was only supposed to last a week when they arrived last June, but their Boeing spacecraft was sent back without them when it suffered numerous malfunctions. After more than 9 months of spacewalks and zero gravity, the pair arrived home now that a relief crew had arrived. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer brushed off calls within his party to step aside, saying he remains the, quote, best leader for the Senate. He's faced a wave of backlash from Democrats for supporting the Republican spending bill to avoid a government shutdown. A number of House Democrats and activists called for a more public confrontation with the Republican majority. Today, in his first interview since he postponed book tour events over security concerns and calls for protests, the minority leader defended his decision.
I knew when I took this vote there'd be a lot of protests, but I felt I had to do it for the future, not only of the Democratic Party, but the country. Because here's as bad as that CR bill was, and it was bad, a shutdown is 10 times worse.
The board of the U.S. Institute of Peace has shrunk to just 3 members after a dramatic standoff yesterday between the independent nonprofit and the Trump administration. Employees at the institute say they called the police after staffers from the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, physically entered the Washington headquarters after several unsuccessful attempts. The agency's now fired president called it an illegal takeover of an institution that's not part of the executive branch.
We have been talking to them for many weeks now, and in anticipation of just this possibility. And also to remind them that we are a private, nonprofit corporation in the District of Columbia, and therefore not a federal agency, and therefore the federal government has no entitlement to come in and take over our building.
The group, which helps prevent violent conflicts abroad, was created by Congress more than 40 years ago. It was one of several organizations named in an executive order last month directing them to reduce operations.